Village of Hampshire Planning Commission, 7 p.m. I could ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Swanson, could I ask you to do a roll call?
Tim Wetzel.
Present.
A. Neal.
Yeah. Yes, he popped in and nobody caught him, but yes, he should not be here.
Al Rayback.
Here.
Louis Rossetti.
Did you call my name? I'm here. Sound quality's a little bit to be desired.
Ken Swanson here. Brian Brown.
All right, if I could ask everyone to review the meeting minutes from our last wonderful assemblage.
Mr. Chairman, this is Bill Rossetti. I have read the minutes and I make a motion that the minutes be accepted as written.
I'll second that.
All in favor? I'm sorry. Yes, roll call on that one, please.
Tim Wetzel.
Aye.
Al Rayback.
Aye.
Louis Rossetti.
Aye.
Ken Swanson. Aye. Brian Brown.
Aye. We'll see if that sticks for the rest of the meeting. Righty, new business this evening. We are here, everyone, to review recommendations to the Board of Trustees regarding a proposed final plat of subdivision for neighborhoods L, K, and M in the Prairie Ridge subdivision in the village pursuant to 7-2-4 of the Village Code. Mr. Olson, if there's anything you might be able to speak to on this, a little extra background, some of the history. And I believe also an item, I think we're keeping some of the water specific items in, as they were originally proposed versus updated.
Yes, I can speak to that.
Okay.
So good to see you all again. You may recall my name is Dan Olson. I head up the construction engineering department for Crown Community Development. With me tonight is Chris Natz, who heads up our sales and marketing department. Dave Gauger with Semcon, who's our engineer. Rich Olson with Gary Weber and Associates, who's our planner and also our landscape architect. We're here tonight to present the final plat and plan for Prairie Ridge units K, L, and M. This is the next phase of our Prairie Ridge project, which is just north of our neighborhood, north of Allen Road, and it's south of Kelly Road, west of Harmony Road, and then it wraps around the cemetery up in that area. This may go down as the longest petition in Hampshire history, as we originally petitioned this final plat in the spring of 2008. You may recall our industry had experienced a minor correction that year, which led to a global pandemic. So we've, at that time, we decided that it might be prudent to put the project on the shelf, which we did. And we waited for the market, while we waited for the market to return, which we did. And we waited and we waited and we waited. And 13 years later, we're finally seeing signs of life in the market. And you can see that out along Allen Road right now. So we decided it's time to move forward with the plat. This neighborhood includes, first of all, it's in substantial conformance with the original preliminary plat, which was approved in 2005 as part of our annexation of Prairie Ridge and Oakstead. It's 107 acres. It has 49 acres of open space, which includes a 100-foot wide buffer along Harmony Road, 2.5 acre park, and about 44 acres of open space north of Kelly Road. It has 66 75-foot wide lots, 10,000 square foot in total, 55 65-foot wide lots, 8,000 square foot in total, for a total of 115 dwelling units. It also includes a large parcel M, which was originally, which is currently platted for 139 townhomes. We are reconsidering that, and probably next month we'll be coming back before you to present a concept plan which would downzone that parcel into single-family detached units, about 79 ranch-style product homes in that area. But we'll present that. We'll be presenting that in the next month or so. But we thought it'd be good to get it platted now as part of this, since it was originally part of the original platting of the subdivision. You discussed stormwater, and so since we went through the engineering back in 2007 and 2008 with EEI, and since then the stormwater requirements, the rainfall intensity requirements have changed. But working with EEI, we've decided they've agreed that we are grandfathered since we were originally preliminary platted and the engineering had been approved at that time. So that's good, because our detention works, and it's appropriately sized for everything. Other than that, we do have a path system which will go through the neighborhood M, and you'll see that when we present that concept plan. And that path system connects to our projects to the south, our neighborhoods to the south, and then we'll continue to the north as we continue future phases in the north. In a nutshell, that's it. We'd be happy to answer any questions that the commission has at this point.
I did have an additional question. It was mentioned, and in the agenda items, the pack that we have in front of us, the subdivision M was originally blank. Yes, on this one, looks like that neighborhood M, there's nothing really drawn out as far as lots. My understanding is you're looking to develop that with townhomes, correct?
Correct, and that's what I was talking to. It's currently designed as townhomes, and the reason it's not lotted out, it was a condo style townhomes, common maintenance, so there are no lot lines within that neighborhood, so it's one big lot. But again, we will be coming back for that area with subdivided single-family detached lots, and that'll be presented later. But for now, we're just looking to subdivide it as one large parcel, and that's about 21 acres.
So this is Tim Wetzel. So your intent is to put single-family homes and no more townhomes and/or condos.
That is the intent. That is not part of this petition, to be clear.
Right.
But
that's
our intent.
No, I'm clear on that. And Dan, just help me out here. So one of the big questions I have was concerning drainage and stormwater runoff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you guys were grandfathered in, but I'm curious to know what the changes were that were made by IE, where did they say, hey, there's a greater chance that there's going to be more runoff, or what kind of changes were they talking?
It wasn't. The changes weren't made. The changes were made by the state, and it's basically the rainfall intensity data that they used when they determine runoff. So obviously we're seeing more intense storms these days than we did, back in the day. They were just updating those charts. So and that's the data that we use going forward for all new they want us to use going forward for all new subdivisions. It's part of the King County Stormwater Ordinance.
Okay, good. So you guys feel that we have set up currently can handle that?
We do. And a good example of that is, the projects just to the south. We're using the old rainfall data, the two neighborhoods to the south, and one of them is nearly completed. And the detention facilities are sized appropriately, and they work just fine. And I'm an engineer. Dave Gauger's an engineer, as is Tim, obviously. Engineers tend to be conservative, and as they should be. And I think that's a big part of the reason that the change was made to the rainfall intensity.
All right, great. No, that sounds good. It's just something because the intensity of storms is increasing, so I just wanted to make sure that flood basements like crazy or anything like that. So good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, this is Bill Rossetti. I got a question for Dan Olson. Dan, I don't see on these 7 pages of the final plat, I don't see any detention ponds. Am I missing something?
So the detention pond is located north of Kelly Road. We're taking it through the pipes to get there. And I can't see the parcel number. Unfortunately, I don't have a large scale plat with me, but it's that, you see those 2 large parcels to the north. There you go, 1361, I believe it is. That is a parcel which has the detention in it. That detention was constructed when we constructed Kelly Road over a decade ago. So that the detention exists for these neighborhoods now. And again, that was before we decided to put the project on the shelf.
Okay, so it's just the one detention pond for the entire project?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
If I may ask to clarify that, is that one detention pond for the entire project or one detention pond for this pod?
I apologize. Yeah, one detention pond for these pods, K, L, and M. Dave Gauger, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe we're sending any of this stormwater to the pond to the south, are we?
I would have to check with that. I believe the detention is provided for lot 1358 already, but I'll confirm that.
Okay.
Mr. Rossetti, I was just looking to clarify. I think you were asking if this was for the whole subdivision in its entirety, or if you were just asking about the detention for neighborhoods K, L, and M.
That was my question, yes.
Okay.
It is not for the entire subdivision in its entirety, just these 3 neighborhoods, K, L, and M.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And I'd like to say one thing else. I'm really pleased with the lot sizes. We have spoken at the Plan Commission several times, and we were informed that the buyers now want smaller lots, and Oakstead is an example of that, where the lots are 7,000 or 8,000 feet. And here I see in Prairie Ridge, we're talking from 10,000 to 24,000 feet, and I'm very pleased about that.
Sure.
Is there a reason, just out of curiosity, since it was the point was made to us that the buyers want smaller lots? Is there a reason why Prairie Ridge was planned to be larger lots?
Yeah, well, I can respond to why Prairie Ridge has larger lots, because that was the request of the board at the time, right? They wanted larger lots as we went out, and we got some 100-foot wide lots to the north of here. But I can certainly say, and I'll let Chris opine on this, the buyers certainly want smaller lots than they did 15 years ago. And that's why we changed Oakstead like we did, because that's where the market is. I would say, these 75-foot wide lots, which at one point when I started my career with Crown, that was the norm, that was the sweet spot. But I would say today that it's probably, they're too big today. Chris, you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would agree. We're moving forward with these, quite frankly, because they're already platted. And we're working with the builders to create segmentation so that hopefully they can continue to absorb and sell at the paces that they've been at. But of course, larger lots translate to higher home prices, which that's great from a village perspective, but also it's not great if you're not, getting absorptions. We want to sell a lot of homes, you want to get a lot of permits. So, we're hoping that this will sustain at the pace we've been at.
To Chris's point, I think if we were replatting this today, had we not started the process 13 years ago, I suspect that those 75-foot wide lots would be smaller.
Yes, said another way, we're having to sell these lots to the builders at a smaller lot price.
Right.
And if I may ask, how much of the infrastructure might already be existing for these neighborhoods, K and L and M, as far as like sewer, water, hydrants?
Great.
Like sifting or shuffling?
Yeah, great question. So we did get an early grading permit in 13 years ago, and so a lot of the site has been mass graded. We do have some cleanup to do there. So that'll be the first thing we do, assuming we get approval. But as part of the overall water and sewer system that we work with the village to construct through the SSA, we have an interceptor sewer that goes through this neighborhood, which will also serve this neighborhood, and it makes its way all the way out to the school in Lakewood and Oakstead, the high school that is. And then there's also a water main that does the same thing. So that infrastructure is in the ground. It goes through this neighborhood, and we'll be tying into that infrastructure.
And you said that this already goes up to Lakewood?
Yes. So the main water main and sewer and interceptor sewer that we constructed 15 years ago, 12 years ago, goes through this neighborhood, and then it crosses Harmony Road, goes east through the open space area to the east, and makes its way out to our Thames Farm project, and then it continues to Lakewood and Oakstead.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's actually good to know.
Yep.
So those hidden little history things.
Yep.
So I heard mention an SSA. Is that what? Because I live in Tuscany, and this was probably what is the deal with the SSA and these properties?
So you may recall in our Oakstead petition, we had a lot of discussion about the SSAs. Originally, there was a very large SSA that we worked with the village on to construct all of these improvements, including the expansion of the wastewater treatment plant twice, the new water plant along Harmony Road, and then all the sewer and water infrastructure we talked about, the water tower, a lot of roadway. We retired those bonds in 2010, I believe.
Okay.
And so there is no SSA against this project anymore, any of our projects in Hampshire, with the exception of the traditional backup SSA, which the village requires in the event that the HOA doesn't maintain the stormwater detention facilities.
And Dan, thank you for clarifying, because I thought that was the case with Oakstead and everything, so I just wanted to be clear.
Same thing here. It was all part of the same SSA.
Good. Thank you.
Actually, 4 SSAs, I should say.
Any further questions or comments?
I have, Mr. Chairman, Mark Schuster. There's a review letter from EEI. It identifies that final engineering and landscaping plans should be submitted as a condition of final approval by the Board of Trustees. If you wish to include that in your recommendation, the motion should reference that those conditions of that review letter.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right. I will entertain a motion to approve our review and recommendation to the Board of Trustees regarding this discussed final plat of subdivision for neighborhoods K, L, and M, in the Prairie Ridge subdivision, with the 3 specific items as noted on the EEI letter, which I will add to the letter of recommendation to the board. These 3 items, as noted, neighborhood L, K, and M updated engineering and landscape plans must be submitted for review and approval. Current engineer's opinion of probable cost must be submitted. The EOPC will be used to establish the required performance guarantee, and then the appropriate performance guarantee must be on file with the village clerk. So I will note those. Again, I will make the motion as noted on our new business with those three items. I think we can clean that up again, Mr. Sullivan.
So moved.
I second that.
Actually, it was Mr. Rose.
Oh, really?
Roll call, please.
Jim Wetzel,
Aye.
Larry Redpack,
Aye.
Bill Rossetti,
Aye.
Swanson, aye. Motion carries.
Actually, on this one, that's only 4, so I do need to vote, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Aye. Alrighty, public comment, anybody have missed over there?
Don't sign it.
Entertain a motion to adjourn, 7:21 PM.
I will motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
So motion,
Jim,
roll call, please.
Jim Wetzel.
Aye.
Larry Redpack,
Aye.
Bill Rossetti,
Aye.
and Swanson, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olson, Mr. Schuster. Thank you for your time, all.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Dan.
We do
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you much.